We'll create a MongoDB Atlas account, we log into it, and then we'll create a project with a cluster. And then cluster in the sense, MongoDB, we always deploy in a cluster, a group of DB servers. This automatically Atlas will take care of. We don't have to do anything. So this means our data will be replicated, duplicated, whatever we store, some collections, etc., documents, and so it'll be safe, basically. So we'll go to MongoDB Atlas. Now I already have an account, I'll sign in. Meanwhile, you can create an account and you can also sign in. Once you're logged in, you will be able to see an organization, or you have to create one. I'm not sure, you can check that out. And once you create the organization has projects. So everything that you create, like every application will be a project. So in projects, you can add a new project and we'll call it full stack deployment demo. And I'll be part of it. Similarly, you'll be part of your project. Create the project. And once the project is created, you will have to create a cluster of servers. So you can build a cluster, click on build a cluster. Please make sure you're using the free tier. Anyway, you'll be asked for the credit card, I assume, for the others. But we can work with the free tier. Create a cluster free. And then you can choose a region. Any region is fine, doesn't matter much. But if you choose something that's nearby, it might work faster. These are the settings. So create cluster. It will take some time to create the cluster. The cluster is now created. So we will connect. So generally it's a good idea to restrict the IP addresses from which you can connect to this database server. But for simplicity, I'll just allow access from anywhere, which is actually very unsafe. Generally, you can say you'll allow from a given IP address where the production server is running. So if you want, you can add a description from anywhere, whatever, add IP address. So now I can connect to this thing from any machine. Let's create a database user. We'll call it full stack deployment demo admin. And the password, we'll set it to password exclamation 23, let's say. Okay. But whenever you set this, you have to be a little careful. If you're using like special characters, which is a good idea, when you connect to it, you will have to URL encode this. So just like it changes in the URL, these things that appear, it will be in the URL encoded format when you connect to the database. So that you have to be careful if you're giving special characters. So you might be wondering why I'm giving the password right. Why is it not connecting? If you think so, you need to check this and encode these while connecting. So right now we are mentioning like this exclamation 23 created. So that's it, we have created. Make a note of it. FS deployment demo admin is the user we have created. So you can also see how to connect. If you choose a connection method and see if you're connecting from your application, this is the kind of URL that you'll have to create. We'll copy this too and we'll close. Now we'll connect from our application for production environments. So we'll switch back to our server, and in our init.js, where we are connecting to the DB, we did tell what should be the connection string for a development environment. So in case of a production environment now, where the MongoDB Atlas is the database, you have to connect like this. And these will come from environment variables. So you shouldn't hard code these things because it's giving away very important information in code, which is a very bad thing. Everybody who has access to the code can get. Only people who have access to the environment where it's deployed, administrators or who are the developers who deploy it carefully, who have the access rights, should set this as environment variables in that environment. So in the server machine or wherever. So we'll be setting this in Heroku when we'll be deploying it. We'll, let's say, get these as environment variables. So we'll say db name or db user and db password. These will be set up as environment variables when we actually deploy in production. For the local database, we could have user and password, but we have not done that. We are thinking, okay, we'll be safe. We are the only ones using this machine. Otherwise, even for the local database, MongoDB database, we can create username and password accounts. So here now we'll substitute uh, password with db underscore password. We make it back-decoded strings so that we can use $brace. And this is the host, db host. So if you want to, you can also create .env.production here, although you should not push it to GitHub, these files, .env files, because they may be exposing environment variables in restricted environments like production. So it's not a good idea to push these. So these are generally git ignored. You can see that git ignore includes .env files. So if you want to just remember it, you can create a .env.production, but never push it to GitHub because it may expose secret environment variables. So db host, db name is the same techdb. db password is password exclamation 23, but we need to URL encode it. So we need to find out what the URL encoded form of exclamation is. You can get that information in like MongoDB Atlas or Mongo import. So if you check this document, I'll leave a reference to this. So your exclamation etc. should be encoded. So the encoding for an exclamation let me just check that. Okay, I just figured out exclamation is percentage 21. So exclamation percentage 2123 exclamation 23 becomes percentage 2123. So please be careful here. You'll have to find out if you're using special characters what's the exact encoding to be used. So it can make it a little complicated, but it's always a good idea to have these special characters in the password. So db host, db password, db name, and the clusters host. So that's this db host Oh, I already had that. Okay. So username is missing. DB user. That will be this. Okay, so DB host user password name, and then we'll also have node env production port. We can have 3000. It's not that I'm going to make use of this. Later I'll be creating these variables in Heroku, so I can just copy paste from here. So host user password name we can get here. So DB host user password name and host slash DB name in development, and in production the connection string would be DB password, no colon here. So DB user colon password at the rate, because that's how it is, right? User colon password at the rate DB host, at the rate DB host slash tech DB. So that will be DB name. Make sure you are creating these things very carefully, because even in small characters you'll find that you're not able to connect to database. So please double check these things. And then what's given here is this. That's exactly what's here. That's fine. So once we have this, we can also make a similar change in seed.js. Actually, to import the initial set of records to our online Atlas database, we'll create a separate script just for ease of use. I'll just make a note of it in seed.production shell script, and we'll say Mongo import. We'll run Mongo import command. We'll give the connection string here, URI equal to, will be very similar to this. In fact, it will be very similar to this. I'll copy here. And password would be what we have set in here. And this will be TechDB. And this one you can set SSL true. So it will transfer all the initial data, Mongo import data, secretively encoded, encrypted, and add this too. We will be importing this into collection workshops. We'll drop any documents. This will run only the first time so that we seed it with some data, our initial collections. I have just one collection. You might want to do this for each and every collection you have. And this is going to come from seed folders workshops.json. And the format is a JSON array. Okay. So now I'll run this command. I just made a note of it. You can make it an executable file by chmod +x if you're on Linux, if you know what that does. Or I'll just copy this. I already have Mongo import on my system. I assume you too have Mongo import installed. And so from this folder, because we are giving the file is seed slash, so we have to run it from data folder. So I'll go within the server's data folder, and from there I'll run this. Didn't get copied properly. Let me copy the whole thing. It's not getting copied properly. Let me try to run it from here. I'm not in the right folder. Oh, I am server data, that's right. I'm in the right folder, server data. Okay, so there is some problem with the string. Mongo import. Let me try with the plain percentage, plain exclamation for password 123. Percentage or percentage 2, and I'll just try an exclamation. That too doesn't work. I think I'll have to check this. Let me check this. Okay, I was having some very bad issues with the password. The exclamation percentage 2 and encoding was not working for some reason. I don't know why. I tried it earlier, it works. But so I changed my password by going to going to database access and then editing and then editing the password. And I set a simple password, which is this. So after this, it works. The same thing, Mongo import command, as you can see. So it imported the two documents. So now the online Atlas database also has the two C documents for workshops. Similarly, you can upload documents for other collections of yours. So once we have this, once we have this, once we have this, we can test out whether under the production settings our application work fine. So what we can do is we can switch to the production environment variables. So I'll rename the .env file as .env.development for the time being. Just some backup, and rename the production.env file as just.env. This way when we run now, the actual production environment variables are picked up. So we'll npm start. Now you can see it's actually connected to this, which is the Atlas database. And now if you check, it is still working. So this means when we use the production environment also, it should work. The only piece remaining is now to deploy this to Heroku. So we'll be doing this in the next step.